evening, everybody, and welcome to StatCheck episode 156. This show is titled "It's Never Been So LVOver." I hope everybody is having a wonderful week, whether they were at a tournament, whether they were preparing for a tournament, or whether they were just watching from the comfort of their own home as Joe streamed another tournament. I'm Ennis. I'm joined by Nathan and Anthony. I hope everybody's having a great day. We're going to start by talking about some stats and stuff, but before we get too far into that, Anthony, Nathan, how you guys been? Anthony, kick us off. Go for
it. I've been pretty good. I haven't done a ton 40K wise lately. Just random coaching stuff. I wrote another Drukhari list that I'm pretty happy with. I sent that to you already for someone else to play. As my name implies below, there's been a lot of ghostwriting lately for different armies.
You were slacking. I didn't even see a single one of your list of the top 8 of LVO.
Championship Ghostwriter is really what it should say there.
I know,
Anthony.
right?
Championship Ghostwriter.
I've helped Folger with Eldar. Does that help? Does that count?
No.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't top to bottom that one though, so that's fair. It's been pretty chill. I was considering trying to go to an RTT in the next couple weeks here, but they just all line up poorly with other stuff that I'm doing, so never mind. I also have just no clue where my Drukhari are. Just I moved and now all of my models are just in somewhere in this space. So yeah, having to pull that out would be a bit of a trip. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I've just been, working. The new job's been dope. And that's been it. Doing stuff with Anna, working and coaching. Pow. Oh, we put out a video. I guess that counts, right?
Yeah, you should talk about the video.
Yes, we made a Drukhari Codex review, so go watch that if you haven't already. We have a good time with it. If you want to see shockingly positive content from your boy, how's energy
just positive at all content from your boy is rare, right?
So. Whoa. I'm positive more than I'm negative. It's just when I'm negative, I'm really negative, so people tend to notice that more.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. Nothing new, exciting, or interesting. What's up with you, Nathan?
Not a lot at the moment. I took out the Drukhari army and I started looking at it to see what was in it. And found an incredibly dusty army that was the very first army that I had painted. And I started looking at it and I was like, wow, I was bad at this. When I first started, I was looking at it and I was like, man, I don't know. And then I found another Drukhari army basically behind the painted Drukhari army from when I was playing Drukhari fully. And I was like, cool, I'll just paint that stuff instead of trying to figure out if I can fix and repaint this other one. So I don't know. I'm kind of excited. I'm excited to pick up the book some point this week when it releases. I guess it releases Saturday, so I'll pick it up on Saturday. And then enjoy tinkering around with it for a while. I played my first vibe check round and tied somebody because they scored 26 points on the last turn. On bottom of 5, and I was like,
well, that's a sabotage draw. That's not good. Or was it terrible?
It was. He got the 2 5-point secondaries and then managed to get kill more on Purge.
Played Purge, weren't you? Oh,
yeah. And scored 26 points. I went into that turn, I was like, I'm going to at least get an 11-9, right? And then my opponent got the perfect draw, managed to kill everything, and I was like, once he started scoring secondaries, I was like, it's already a draw. I can't do anything about this. No, and then we scored it out, and he had scored exactly the same as me. So we went out with a 77-77 draw. And I was playing Space Wolves with 20...
77? That sounds like you didn't score very many points, Nathan. You should have tried harder in school.
I drew a null turn 1 on secondaries, so I didn't score any secondaries turn 1.
I love when that happens. Just
it was
the game fuck.
I mean, I ended the game with my opponent with 2 Repulsor Executioners and a Marshal left, essentially. And that was his army at that. Oh, and a unit of 5 Intercessors.
Fair. So real talk. Would you rather the null turn 1 or the double 2-point card that you can't really say no to turn 1?
I mean, I would have taken any scoring at all turn 1.
It depends on the matchup. I get more annoyed
Yeah.
when I if I'm playing a melee mirror and I draw like fucking engage and some other dumpster that's gonna be like not
Yeah.
a lot of points, but also not a command point. It's like, ah.
You like gauge no man's land, but you don't want to go in the middle yet. And you're like 2 and 2. Fuck.
Yeah, I would just get the 5
Yeah.
at that point. I'd be like, this is not. I'm not
Hate it.
doing this. So off you go.
Yeah, I felt very clever when I managed to hit a long charge with the Blood Claws and tag like a Repulsor Executioner, kill a bunch of stuff in the middle, and create a giant long ass line of Blood Claws in the middle, blocking all movement across. I felt very powerful in that moment.
Big unit. Woo.
The joy of using 20 model squads is unparalleled. I miss so desperately my 40 model squads of 8th edition.
The real cool thing was the Blood Claws surviving Sword Brethren and an Emperor's Champion. Although Ragnar got yeeted his way completely ass out of the squad by the Emperor's Champion.
That makes sense.
The Blood Claws then killed all of the things that guy was attached to, so it was alright. It was fine.
Woo.
Blood Claws having the ability to do that is nice. Otherwise, I've been painting some Imperial Knights and some other stuff. The Imperial Knights Codex, by the way, is my favorite book, just because it has heraldry and shit in it. So you get guides
cool.
and like painting stuff in order to like actually paint heraldry for them. So that's
I'm
cool.
glad those codexes are useful to someone.
I like them sometimes. Like you get bad ones, but this Imperial Knights one has a bunch of stuff in it, so I kind of enjoy
I mean, I buy enough of them. I have a shelf full of them, but it doesn't
Sure.
mean it doesn't mean I've opened a lot of them. The most recent one I opened was like the Gene Circle one for tattoo ideas.
Do you just go to the front or to the back actually, get the code, and then like skip off after getting the code?
No, I get my codes from GW.
Oh, that's right. Fair. I mean,
Same.
I get codes from GW for the TO program.
Yep.
I still buy the occasional book because I don't know.
Yeah, I like
I
buying
like
books.
looking at them.
They're expensive. They're not that expensive. I don't mind.
I don't,
Right.
Anyway.
They're
I
not
don't know
terribly
the last time I
expensive.
bought a codex.
Fair.
Many moons.
You had to have a
Fair.
Space Wolf one at WC this year.
I
if
did.
you were a Space Wolf player.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the last time someone had to have one.
Yeah.
I hope someone was
a
asking
Space
Olivier
Wolf.
and Space Wolf for their codex every round.
I mean, a Space Wolf Codex came in the box for all the models that I bought. So, I got one by default in that case.
Great work.
Yeah. That's it. I'm waiting to hear back about jobs, and that's kind of it. That's where I'm at. I sent in a technical assessment, and now I get to see if I'm technically assessed or not. There you go.
Do you feel technically assessed? You were certainly assessed. Do you feel like you passed?
I was definitely assessed. We'll see if I'm technical enough.
Got it.
That's true. Well, Godspeed. As for myself, it's been a quiet week. I had a weekend off for the first time in a while. So I went and spent the day, went for lunch with my sister, went to a craft market, went for Korean barbecue afterwards, went for ice cream, just really nice chill day of doing nothing. Sunday I went and played 3 games of Warhost because I hate fun.
Why did
so
you do that?
Pardon?
Why?
Well, we've got a team event coming up in 3 weeks, and my captain for the team was like, "I want you on a push. Can you go play Warhost?" And I was like, "I'll do it, but I won't be happy about it." So I played 3 games, and I was like, "I'm not doing it. I don't like this. This is not fun." It's playing with Fuegan's just not enjoyable. I don't like it. I don't like the feeling that it gives me. I don't like. It
A lot
feels
of ways
too.
I would describe Fuegan. Not
Sure.
fun is really low on that list.
I don't like the play pattern very much. I find it very boring. It's just and then I put the wave server and it jumps out. I get too trigger happy to charge with Fuegan. Is the problem? Is I keep sitting there and I'm like, I can charge that. That thing's within 6 of the serpent. I can charge them, and then Fuegan inevitably rolls no 5s to wound, and I get stuck there again. So yeah,
I have never finished a turn with Fuegan and been like, I didn't do enough damage. I need to also charge. Like, what a waste of a turn if I don't charge. Fuck.
The molten ruin of every single vehicle within range is not enough for me. I must now try to kill something with 6 strength 5 attacks.
9 out of 10 times it works great, right? He's like, fuck that tally man.
The last activation that I had with me using a Fuegan as Oppo practice rep is his unit killed 4 vehicles at the same time, and then my opponent conceded. And I was like,
as they should.
There was definitely a bit of that, right? Like I played 2 games into Death Guard and then 1 game into Imperial Knights, and I think Fuigan and combined across those games killed like 2,400 points.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, it's really stupid. When he rolled a 1 into a 1 to hit into the Lancer, I did feel a little bad. As I changed it to a 6. It's like, I was hoping to use that on a wound roll.
You just flip that shit, dude.
Yeah, no, of course I was sustained hits. Of course I did.
You have a second one. Just flip the second one.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The Elder Army just, I don't. It doesn't speak to me. I don't like it very much. I was
like it. I like
Sorry,
it in a way that makes me nervous. Like I'm like every time I play it, I'm like, nope, and just put that in the nothing box. That wasn't.
It's gotta go in the nothing box. Yeah. Yep. I definitely every time I play with it, I'm like, I don't understand how anyone ever loses a game with this. And then I watch Folger versus Nemo, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it.
Folger fucking tried, dude. There was a lot of dead Guardsmen at the end of that game.
I'm fully aware.
Yeah.
It still just doesn't feel. But I also feel like I've not lost the aspect of Warhost all like since the book came out, and I'm just like, surely there's something wrong with it at that point. Like, it's just I don't lose to it. It can't be that good.
Well, I think it's the stuff you were playing happens to be pretty decent.
Yeah, look, fucking that sounds like context.
Nuance on this show, not even.
Like, I played against Aspect Host twice with my Stormraven list, and it was just like, nah, Fuigan doesn't do enough. And
well, that's patently false, but
that feels like not
games.
math. Yeah,
exactly. Fuigan wasn't even charging in those games. He was just dying.
He didn't even bother charging the Stormraven. What are you talking about? Yeah.
All Fuigan did in that game against Luke was he one-shot the Stormraven with just Fuigan, and then the other 10 dudes killed another vehicle. But then they all died, and he lost the game, so it can't have been that good.
Sure.
I don't know. I just every time I try to play Eldar, I just remember playing Devoted Uniad, and I'm like, yeah, I remember scoring primary. It was really nice.
I mean, you can score primary with Eldar. You just pave the path to primary with the opponent's blood.
Yeah, no, I do get it, but I don't know. It's not called out to me. I keep sitting here being like the Green Goblin Mask, being like, you should play fucking 200 Guardsmen then in this.
You like 20-man models. You like 20-man squads. Play 10-man.
Neophytes are basically Deathgore Krieg. You could just use the same guys.
You cannot tell me you would not like that list.
No, I know I would. Again, it's like it's got to go in the nothing box. I can't be like Nos. If me and Nos are playing the same army, like something's off,
well,
right?
There's
like,
no shot Nos plays that many Guardsmen because Nos gets bored and gets -5 on his diff for every turn he plays past 2. So.
Yeah, that's fair.
He just gets tired. He gets tired.
I'm floating around. I've got an event in Sweden, not this weekend, but next weekend, and I'm kind of floating about what to play for that, and I'm still just not sure. The terrain is not a normal format. It's very much like in betweeny, and it's throwing me for a loop because I'm just like, I don't really know what I want to play, and I'm just getting that like itchy feeling of like I've played this army before. I should play something new, mostly for the content. I don't know if anybody's gonna have any enjoyment of being like, and then I moved the Guardsman squad onto the objective, and then they stood there for a bit, and no one's gonna enjoy me telling them about that. So,
I mean, maybe there's more to it.
I think the secret answer is that I've got to. Well, I'm gonna bitch about something for a second. Holy shit, guys! Did that lion video do too well? Every single one of our YouTube metrics is fucked up. Every time I upload a new video, it's always like 2 of 10 because the lion video did better. This doesn't matter. It doesn't seem to matter what it is. The lion video did better. 12-person GT, top 4 at LGT. Lion did better. That's my way of saying I did my video on the breakdown for LGT. If you want to see me chat about my top 4 with the Stormraven, and my sister made fun of me for this one. Every time you say top 4, it means 4th, right? Like no one says top 4 in game 3rd. Yep. Right, like 100%, it's just not a thing.
Dude, I did that for ages when I first started. When I was like climbing the ranks, I'd be like, "Dude, I'm top insert number here." Like,
yeah, I'm top 8. So 8.
Number.
Yeah. Because Boris's video went up of top 3 at the LGT, and I'm like, oh, so 3rd then. Yeah, because you didn't come 2nd if you were top
3, baby.
Then the video would be top 2. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to see that video, go and check it out. It is an hour and a half of me talking about Stormravens and Redemptor Dreadnoughts. What's not to love? So yeah, I'm still trying to decide what to take from moment. I think I have until like Sunday to decide. We'll figure it out. But I'm playing. Sorry,
I said you're gonna find out list lock was yesterday.
That's fine. Frederick would have messaged me. It'll be okay. If it was yesterday, I booked flights today, so that's bad.
That's fair.
Going to, by the way, I'm flying to Copenhagen via Poznan, Poland, which seems trolling because it was like £100 cheaper.
That feels backwards. You're doubling
Yeah, I know.
back, basically.
So far. Why would
I had to
you?
go all
was-
the way over here to
The
go
flight I was
over
going to book was
there.
sold out, and the via Poznan was £100 less.
Ay vey, dude, that's
So-
fucking rough. All right.
Yeah, Ben, I prefer the term semi-finalist or top 4. That also means fourth. You realize that, right? Like, if you finish third, you're going to say third. You're going to say you were on the podium or the bronze medalist. You're not
check
going to
out-
say top 4 or semi-finalist. Or
Yeah.
I lost in round 9. Dude. You're really
You
just
can
trying to
check out-
avoid having to say fourth, right?
You can check out Pyrotown while you're in Poznan, dude. That's not far from there, right?
It is not. It is like half an hour away.
Nice.
C'est la vie. So anyway, yeah, that's been my time. I finally ordered some hyperadaptive Raveners. I'm gonna try and get Nids on the table again, make myself sad.
Why don't you play Nids, dude?
There you go. You should play Nids.
Because no one sent me 90 Spine Gons yet. That's the
Oh, that's the
That's
hurdle
the-
we gotta
we're holding
make.
that-
That is in
like,
Sweden, right?
Hmm?
They have to send them to you, or do they just have to be at the event when you get?
no. I'm not playing. They gotta be mine to build and paint. That's the.
I'll send some messages when we're done here and see what I can do.
This
You're a
is how
monster.
they arrive tomorrow.
You're a monster. I'll do it.
I love the
Um,
Swedes, dude. We get along good.
All right. Shall we talk stats?
Sure. All right. So this is going to be the stats for every event, save
and
one.
Very quickly. Thank you to Giacomo Pasquini for becoming a new YouTube member. We really appreciate you.
Yes, thank you. All right. So this is going to be all of the events, save one. One event in Germany decided to use a different set of tracking software than all the other ones. So that one is not in the event until we can get a actual stats poll from them so that we can add them to the numbers. So this is everybody minus them. That is still 18 events. So it is still a lot of GT
These events,
size
including
events
a 600-player super major.
Yep. So there are 19 events, including that large German event, which we'll get into the tracking soon, and then that'll be uploaded to the dashboard. It will not be this interim data that's uploaded to the dashboard, so you don't have to wait. The number one performing faction from the weekend is new. It is Adeptus Mechanicus. Adeptus Mechanicus had 30 players, 2.3% of the meta, a 59.8% win rate, 1 event win, 2 top 4s, 10 top 10s for a 1.21 overrep. So, casually.
I'd bet getting
nearly
over a
60%.
1.0 overrep is the biggest worry on that one, right?
Yes.
59.8% is like the top 4 of not 60%.
Yes. That is me not wanting to round up the last 0.2%.
So close.
It's very close. Right behind
That's
them
what
is
60% call. That's what 60%'s mother calls it when it's angry at it.
Right.
You get over here right now, 59.4%.
59.4%. That's its government name.
All right. Sisters are next. 33 players, 2.5% of the meta, 59.6% win rate. No event wins, 5 top 4s, 7 top 10s, and a 2.76 overrep because they got into top 4s at a very quick pace.
But they didn't win anything.
They didn't win anything. No wins.
What a-
So
What a weird way to have overrep. Normally when you have high overrep, you win something.
they made it real far, and then, bumblefucked the landing a bit for winning the event.
Who among us has not?
Never once.
Has not pyropoded. No. Yeah. Deathwatch are in
Speaking of bad
third.
landings, those poor pyropods.
That joke is so old, and it will continue until the end of my days. I think that was actually our first time meeting as well. Anthony was at Chicago.
That's
for
true.
that
Yes.
event. Deathwatch were in third. They had 18 players, 1.4% of the meta, 56.5% win rate, 1 top 4, 3 top 10s for a 1.01 overrep. So you're just, it's okay.
I feel
That's
like
fine.
Deathwatch has been kind of cruising up there for a minute. Like just quietly post. And every week we go,
Well,
well, it's so few people. But
Deathwatch
it feels like it's been a
actually
while
good?
that they've been.
Are Deathwatch actually good, or did the spirit of Mark Cartel just compel them to the final event?
They did get ludicrous point cuts last slate.
They did.
Like like a fairly normal Death Watch list went down like 100-something points. It was pretty wild.
Like the Indomitors came down and a bunch of other stuff, right?
Some other stuff. Yeah, a bunch of the kill teams went down.
All right. Eldari are in 4th place. 66 players, 5% of the meta, a 56.4% win rate, 2 event wins, 6 top 4s, 15 top 10s, and a 1.65 over rep. You know, Eldar are fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Eldar are fine. Fuegan doesn't need any
Yeah.
changes.
He doesn't. Actually, you should make Fuegan cheaper. 20 points. There you go.
They should make the Wave Serpent's fins longer. Just that should be the competitive play package, just an extra inch on the fins on each side of the Wave Serpent. It can't be one of these train formats. Fuck all of you.
Yeah, fuck you.
I guess.
The Fulgrim competitive play upgrade pack that just puts all of the other Primarchs on a 130 mil base as well.
1,000 Suns are sorry. There's comments in the YouTube that are making me laugh more. 1,000 Suns, 22 players, 1.7% of the meta, a 56.3% win rate, a top 4, 4 top 10s, and a 0.83 over rep, which probably means they're fine. And you all need to stop complaining. That's all. That's all I'm going to say. Maybe the 1,000 Suns are just okay.
You mean the army with Oath of Moment as a quarter of its army rule is still good?
Hey, short range shooting phase only Oath of Moment.
Sure. Short range.
No
only.
Thousand Suns players subscribe to the Eldar Union. That's all I'm saying.
But a lot of the time it's the same.
It's the same person, I know.
Same people. It's the same folks, you know what I mean?
The next,
It's all just Brian. Every army that Brian plays turns to dust in my hands.
all right. The bottom 5 starts with Emperor's Children. 30 players, a 2.3% meta representation, a 37.4% win rate, which is abysmal. And then 2 top 10s for a 0 over rep. That faction is having bad days.
If they get buffed, I'm gonna scream, dude.
Now, meanwhile,
John is never going to lose a game again. Like,
what are we doing? How is this happening?
it's just because
it's not like the other thing is we can't even really blame Emperor's Children players for not playing the good data sheets because there aren't any data sheets. They're all playing the same stuff.
Oh, you can play a lot of bad data. Oh, I can write you a list that is 2,000 points of absolute shit.
Okay, yeah, nobody's playing that, right? Like everybody is just playing the fucking generic Coterie list. So we can't even be like Emperor's Children players are playing the bad list, man. It just must not be that good.
These stats are gonna get me back into singles, dude. This is fucking crazy. I genuinely do not understand.
Second from the bottom is Drukhari, who have my favorite kind of stats, which is 20 players, 1.5% of the meta, 38.2% win rate, which is mostly Scary. I'm pretty sure mostly just Scary.
38 is rough in a weekend.
They only had 100. They only had 106 games, so Scary is like 10% of that game base almost. They did get 2 top 4s and 3 top 10s for a 1.82 over rip, though, which is something that can happen.
Broken army. Nerf them.
That's something that can happen.
The stats are weird this week is the moral of this story.
Just wait. They get weirder. Imperial Knights are 3rd from the bottom.
Okay, actually, I'm fine with this one.
That's
Imperial
fair.
Knights actually kind of aren't amazing, right? They're just fine.
Spearhead's good. The rest of it seems meh.
Agreed.
55 players, 4.2% of the meta, 44.3% win rate, 6 top 10s, so a 0 for over rep on them, which is
Could we just very, very quickly say what's their metagame percentage again? 4.2?
4.2%.
What was it this time last month?
It was about 6 to 7%. So it's gone down.
I thought it was like 7 to 8. I remember it being
part of it that's confusing is that them and Chaos Knights together were like 12 to 13%.
Oh, okay.
Sure. We don't have the buy time
we don't have that yet.
Yeah,
but I can pull this. Yeah, just bother clip for it. I will pull it up in a little bit. I'm also going to pull up some Emperor's Children detachment stats so that we can look at that as well.
Oh, dude, that's the answer, NS.
What's up? I'm just gonna look at the Leagues of Votann meta data slate before the balanced data slate. They were at 6%, in that balanced data slate window.
They've dropped by about 33% then.
The
6 to 7
answer-
is about where I thought they were.
Yeah, the answer to your what to play question is Emperor's Children.
There you go.
You'll fucking love them. We'll talk about it after. I'll give
Bruce
you the
has
sales
all my
pitch later.
Bruce has all my stuff.
So? That can't be that hard to get. Scotland's this big. He can throw it to you.
He's fucking miles away. He's at least an hour away from him. I'm seeing him. I'm only seeing him on Saturday. So
What are we talking about?
Making
What are we
up-
Shut up, Ennis. I commuted an hour to work every day. Shut the fuck up.
no, I commute to this chair.
Yeah. Me too, actually, and it's a hardship.
Fair.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I take a call in my bed because I'm feeling lazy. So
Yeah.
he's
All right.
miles away.
Astra Militarum are next. Fucking 55 players, 4.2% of the meta, a 46.3% win rate, 1 event win, 5 top 4s, 8 top 10s, and a 1.65 overrep.
God, is there a more
Astra-
Astra Militarum stat?
Then Astra Militarum having really good stats and a really mediocre win rate? No, that's it. That's
the
all
guard
of it.
special, baby.
There's
It's
one
like-
guy. He's good. Everyone else, part of the infantry.
Guard and World Eaters are like the as above, so below of Warhammer. Like, Guard get a bunch of top 4s and overrep and event wins and stuff, and World Eaters get a bunch of win rate and fucking nothing of anything else. Maybe not this week, but
So, do we want to real quick while we're on guard stats talk about the recon list?
Sure, let's do it. What is the recon list in it?
All right, dude, it's like 1,700 guardsmen, some horses.
it's no exaggeration. It's 240 dudes, right? It's
I think it's 185 dudes was the math someone said.
I
It's
don't
like
think
6
so.
squads of 20, 6 squads of 10, a bunch of command squads and some characters.
Yeah, but I think that last bit equals up to many extra additional men.
Sure, it might be
There you go. 220
sure.
guardsmen, 20 horses.
There you go.
It's a lot of dudes, and 1 sentinel so that your opponent can't redraw bring it down.
Which is bullying, honestly.
That is some-
231.
That is
Sentinel.
some cruelty right there, actually. Yeah,
You get
there's
this Sentinel the
back
hard way.
there. It's
Okay,
Sentinel
so
all the way at the back.
The
Somewhere.
basic premise of it is recon element, which means that all the guards would have effectively 2-up save or 3-up save with AOC. As long as you don't ignore cover. If you ignore cover, add 2 to your AP characteristic. It's very funny being AP4 on your guns because you strip cover by 1 point with Ridrunners. I miss it so much. And then it has some really crazy stratagems, like a -2 to charge stratagem, a -1 to hit and a 6-up feel no pain stratagem, a 12-inch on deep strike stratagem, a 6-inch reactive move stratagem, and a go back and reserve stratagem, all of which are pretty good. It's got
Playing hordes.
some enhancements, they're there, and then it's just guard infantry bodies that all have a bit of regeneration with the D3+1 from the med pack to the D3 from the med packs, and more OC than God and orders. And then you give your squad move, and then Gaunt's Ghost comes down and says, actually, belay that order, you guys have a +1 save now or +1 shot now. And then you get the benefit of move, and then also the benefit of the bonus stratagems.
Rinse and repeat,
And
baby.
You just keep doing it, and then you kill people with like nickel and dime melta and plasma guns, and then you hope you fail the test so that you can res them again. You're like desperately, you're like hazardousing like proactively. You're like, please, dear God, let me kill 3 of these men so that I can regenerate them next turn.
You lads go somewhere else.
It's very painful. It's very, very, very fun to watch. Nemo played it very, very well. You can watch a bunch of his streams on War Games Live and the DW stream. His game against Folger was a particularly hilarious one in Purge the Foe, watching Folger's like vague hope and then that vanish as he went second, as Nemo got to the second, and just be like, I have to run at this now.
It was closer than it had any right to be.
For sure, but watching like Folger's turn 1 be 1 point on gauge at offense and being like, that's probably not enough already, right? Like that's already starting bad.
Yeah, stuff.
Against the army that's never going to miss a card.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a reason that Wesley St. Hines, if you have a look at the Elo, has like a 94% win rate. He's
It's
lost like
something real high.
3 games ever. Most of it's been with Horde Guard. Man knows what he's doing with the army. He's very good at it. He's got a lot of practice with it. Yeah, Wesley St. Hines right now is, before the LVO stats go in, is 73-0. I believe almost every single one of those games has been played with Guard for a 96% win rate, which is, I believe, the highest of anybody in the top 100. Because
true.
it'd be hard not to. And yeah, he just put another 9.5 wins on the board with LVO. So very well done to Wesley. If you are thinking about playing Recon Guard, remember that you are not Wesley. You will not play it as well as he does. You cannot play it as well as he does. He had internal milestones for how much he needed to be done with the games based on the turn and the time. You do not have that. Unless you're willing to put in the reps to get that, do not try to copy Wesley. You are not Wesley St. Hines. And that's okay. Just play combined arms.
Yeah, it's simpler. There's an easier way.
There's an easier and slightly worse way. If you're playing in teams, that list is bullshit and it will drown you. You will not beat it unless you have real ignore cover stuff.
Yep.
I would like to play against it with free nerf Host of Ascension so bad. Yeah. Someone asked the question. Nemo's Recon versus VSL, who wins? I want to know how many guardsmen do you think that Warp Talon squad would kill?
The way that Liam's list works is like fundamental. I have no idea what steps Liam would have to take to lose that game, but I'd be very surprised if it happened.
Like, do you think Liam's split firing like 5 Warp Talons at that 20 man, 5 at that 20 man, or is he going like, like, is it just like 20 man kills 20 man, a blitz kill 20 man, and it goes from there? Like, what does it look like?
The chosen squad, like, so much of this could be so bad.
Yeah. Warp Talons are like just not an okay data sheet. Every single time that anyone's just like, oh yeah, Warp Talons. Christ, that unit.
It's fine.
Guys, nobody, please, if you are a Chaos Space Marine player, consider putting Warp Talons in your list. They're really good.
No, they're bad. It's fine.
No, don't do it. I definitely don't immediately, whenever I look at Chaos Space Marine list, scroll to Warp Talons. Be like, are they in the W section? No, playable game.
World Eater Warp Talons, dude. Oh, God above.
Things just nobody needs.
They would have a different datasheet ability entirely.
That's fine, dude. That's okay. Jump
12
pack
man with 14 inch move man with lightning claws. Anthony would be over his.
True. Anthony would return to his prophecy ways.
They could print that sheet with no data sheet rule, and I'd be like, thanks.
It's a movement 12 infantry model in World Eaters. Thank you.
Good.
Yay.
Can it have the Corn Berserker keyword so it can advance in charge, please?
Don't even need that. They could print, like I said, they could print a fucking blank data sheet with that weapon profile. Everything else is the same.
I think he just wants a 5-man with deep strike.
Yeah, for the love of God.
The data sheet rule is doesn't cost as much as 8-pound, has more wounds.
Doesn't even have that. Just
I'm not asking for much, man.
It's 5 shots that fight on death roll instead of 3. Oh, if it was a 10 to 20, hell yeah. Does EC or World Eater? If EC got Warp Talons, I'd just stop playing Warhammer for a bit, I think. I'd need like a couple days to just like.
I don't even know if EC would use them.
But I don't want them to. I don't want the army to look at the Warp Talon data sheet and go, "Nah, not good enough for me."
That's part of my sales pitch on why you should play EC in a bit, but we'll get there later.
Nah, I'm not gonna play EC. I bounced off EC pretty hard when I tried it before.
But have you played it recently?
Yes, recently enough to know that I still don't love it, but
that's crazy. It's so fun.
Every
time I play that army, I'm like, "Woo! Let's go!" At the end of every battle round.
That's fair.
The old 2-7
fifth from the bottom.
Nathan, continue with the stats.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Fifth is from the bottom is Grey Knights, 27 players, 2.1% of the meta, a 47.2% win rate, 4 top 10s, and a 0 for over because they didn't get any top 4s. And then I'm going to sort this real quick by event wins because I want to do it that way. Chaos Demons and Space Marines won the most events of the weekend with 3 apiece. Chaos Demons had a 51.6% win rate and 5 top 4s to go through 3 wins and 10 top 10s for a 2.27 over rep. Just to tell you that win rate sorting is not always the best way to sort. They had the highest over rep of the weekend.
That's a lot of numbers in a lot of places, dude. That was big win rate, good wins, good over rep. Like that was very high.
Oh yeah, Chaos Demons are real good, and really didn't get any changes to any of the things that were good in them in the slate. They just kind of got some points cuts to things they weren't seeing play. Like that's it. That's what they got.
I mean, I played against Big Demons round 8 at LGT, and it was a genuinely tough game. Big Demons are good.
Right. And then Space Marines, had 90 players, 6.9% of the meta this weekend, a 50.5% win rate, and then 3 event wins, 6 top 4s, and 16 top 10s for a 1.21 over rep. Space Marines are doing fine. Everybody, they're just fine. Probably actually really good because they made up almost 7% of the meta and still were putting up good numbers. Giacomo, you can also email us and we can take care of it if that doesn't work. Tau, we're in third by event wins with 55 players, 4.2% of the meta, a 54.6% win rate, 2 event wins, 5 top 4s, 11 top 10s, and a 1.65 over rep, which is also really good numbers. Tau might also be good. I don't know.
Watching Durante just chew people off the table was quite cathartic.
Yeah.
Fair. Chaos Knights had 51 players, 3.9%, a 53.2% win rate, 1 event win, 6 top 4s, 8 top 10s, and a 2.14 over rep. I think people very quickly oversold how dead Chaos Knights were in response to some changes to them, and I don't think that is even slightly to remotely true.
I think the things that aren't double Gatling despoilers are pretty dead, but
Yeah.
that's okay. That data sheet is a war crime, and it's carrying the codex, and that's okay. Probably should get nerfed and let some power budget go back into other things, but whatever.
Probably.
Maybe that gun never needed to have 18 shots. It was okay at 12.
Maybe you just never needed to be able to double up on guns on Chaos Knight things like anything else in the game.
That's
saying. Chaos Space Marines were next. 42 players, 3.2% of the meta, 48.8% win rate. They had an event win, 4 top 4s, 5 top 10s, and a 1.73 over rep. Other event winners were World Eaters with a 50% win rate. 1 event win, 5 top 4s, 12 top 10s, and a 1.12. Leagues of Votan won an event with a 47.9% win rate, 2 top 4s, 6 top 10s, and a 0.93. Necrons won an event. 3 top 4s, 4 top 10s, and a 0.83 over rep with a 48.9% win rate. And then Space Wolves won an event with a 47.7% win rate. They had that 1 top 4 and then 4 top 10s for a 0.4 over rep. Not really the best numbers to speak of, but that is all of the tournament wins from the weekend. All the other ones got mentioned in the top and bottom. Yep.
Give it to me straight. Where are NIDS?
Tyranids had a 66 players, 5% of the meta, a 49.4% win rate, 2 top 4s, 7 top 10s, and a 0.55 over it. So they're just middling at best and underperforming at top.
Sad water.
Yep. Not really doing anything in particular.
I'm telling you, put the 80 spine fist in the cart and get them to me. I'll have them painted for Sweden, I promise.
There you go.
Death Guard had 68 players, 5.2% of the meta, a 49.7% win rate, 2 top 4s, 7 top 10s, and a 0.54 over it. So maybe the points were enough. Maybe they were.
Maybe.
All right.
Maybe they were.
And now I'm going to pop over to the detachment data just to talk a little bit about Emperor's Children as soon as I can find them on here. Their data basically says that you should play Coterie. It has an over 50% win rate. The vast majority of people are playing that. There's like one person who played Mercurial and one or two people who played Peerless Bladesmen.
Hold on. Coterie broke 50%.
Yeah.
But wasn't EC at like 38? Did everybody
that's because that's just
they played?
That's just the week. This is the summoned data.
Yeah. Okay. I was
just
like,
here.
What happened?
Just to be clear. Yeah. Everything else is bad. But we'll pull out some more detachment data once we get a little bit closer to things, and we'll be able to dig into it a little bit more. But yeah. I don't know. There's not a lot else to say that wasn't said kind of last week when we summed up kind of the detachment data. I don't see anything particularly absurd in here. Yeah. Stop trying to play Valor Strike is my advice to Imperial Knights players, because it has like a 40% win rate.
I mean, being fast is good, but sometimes it tempts you to do silly shit that you shouldn't do, probably.
Yeah, probably. And yeah, there you go.
It's it's
That's
an
all
interesting
stats.
it's an interesting metagame.
Look, I think the meta is fine. I think that maybe AdMech are worth a look, considering great friend of the show, Upstate Dan, on 6 days' notice was able to pick them up, play 2 practice games, and then smash his first GT win with them.
Including beating TJ Lanigan, which is not an easy scalp.
Nope.
Yep.
And Dan is quite good and on the path to power, but, you know, definitely a hell of a fucking showing.
Yeah.
AdMech do seem the scary. It's for me, it's less that like they have like a directly like, whoa, it's impossible, too powerful build. They just seem like they're just like they've hit like a generic good shit threshold that's a bit too high.
Yeah.
I think I broadly agree. There's just a little too much stuff in an AdMech list. Same thing with tile a little bit. Like I read AdMech and tile list nowadays. I'm just like,
I'm just fucking
why is there so many goddamn units here? Like everything is just slightly too cheap, and it feels like you have like 3 extra chaff units than you should have.
One would assume that with that many units that crush ass at doing damage, you would have slightly fewer transports, trash, something.
It's true.
Yeah. And then
I mean, yeah,
Eldar probably just needs a minor tap, but it really, really, really. Skyborn Sanctuary is just a fucked up stratagem, or Star Engines, or something. All right, actually, I want to manifest this one as well. Aspect Shrine tokens. Give them the Drukhari change. Let's do it. Doesn't work on characters.
I mean, that definitely should be what
That's
happens,
fine.
but
That should be. Yeah, 100%.
or the other way around. Also,
Make-
okay.
Nope, absolutely not.
Make Drazars work
did
that
not-
way too.
You smiled a little too much when you said that one.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Maybe.
Just be fine. It'd be cool. It'd be all right.
It'd be okay.
Fun.
Dude, they have one aspect unit. What the fuck? Come on.
I think maybe Star Engine should not let you disembark afterwards.
That'd be an easy change.
Star Engine should just count as advancing.
Yep.
That would be my something with it, because it's too easy to just Skyborn Sanctuary should be 2 CP, something like that. Like that strat's fucked up.
Fire and
Because
Fate
like
just
it feels
let
like there's
you
enough
back in
stuff
the
in it out there.
transport.
So I don't feel like it's points. Just the rules are too good.
Fire dragons don't get to reroll damage.
But Fuigan shouldn't have a fucking kill 10 possessed profile.
That profile picking up Melta was some rude shit. Make it damage 1 if you're gonna give it Melta. Fucking calm down.
But it needs to benefit from the +6 range. Just make it range 18, bro. It didn't have to be that crazy.
Or again, just make it damage 1 and make it Melta 1. And that's also okay. I don't think it'd be that crazy.
I think that's probably fair. All right, what do we want to do as the sort of general topic for the next 20 minutes or so?
Chat.
Do we want to talk about the most Iron Hands character that's ever been previewed before?
Bro.
And that didn't...
I hope he has just like his data rule is just like you get like there's a because he's like a combination of previous Iron Hands characters, right? That's his rule. That's his lore, right? He's the combination of he's got like some other dude's eye, some other guy's leg. Right, that's what he's made of.
I'll
right?
read
He's
it to you.
made of
So,
other Iron Hands. He's the shit. That
So
what I want is a Primarch ability that lets you, just like Primarch ability style, that lets you choose 7th edition, 8th edition, or 9th edition. And you get a rule from one of those editions for when it was broken.
All right. Anthony, you need to hear this. Here's what it is. Kanagvar's cybernetic left leg once belonged to Ironfather Carrick's. His bionic arms and augmetic hearts are said to have been crafted in the dying days of the Horus Heresy. And then only one of the Iron Captain's bionic components, his right eye, was crafted specifically for him. He's basically like one dude with a bunch of different people's cybernetics attached to him.
Okay.
You just know that man has the wildest schizophrenia. He's just like his left leg is like talking to him. It's like giving him advice.
I mean, he does have 2 servo skulls that follow him around as well, Dextrum and Sinistris. So he's got a devil and an angel following him around too.
I don't even have anything to say to that. I hope his rules are fucked up. Can we
talk about how stupid it is they put the fucking bike character in a FOMO box when all the other ones aren't?
Yeah, that was rude for no reason, but you know.
I'm gonna have to buy that one.
Yeah. right.
I'm still kind of
Hope he
hoping that
sucks.
for some reason Iron Hands get the Stormlance detachment and the White Scars get the Iron Hands detachment.
I just hope
it would be really funny.
I hope whatever Iron Hands get, it's not Iron Storm. That's all I'm asking.
I want Iron Hands to get Iron Storm and Space Wolves and Space, and then that, and then when the Ultramarines Terminator box comes out, it's a Gladius upgrade.
No. Did you realize what you just said? A Gladius upgrade?
Only for Ultramarines.
What?
Nathan, run the stats. What was Space Marines win rate last?
It was fine. They won 3 events. What do you want?
What was the win rate? What was the number on the win rate?
49%.
Start with a 4, baby.
It's 49. Shut up.
Started with a 4.
This is the same thing, but when somebody wants to downplay their performance, they're like, yeah, I was in the top 4, but they were secretly second. They're like, I don't want to talk about how good I am at this thing. And so, yeah, started with a 4, right up there against the 50.
Our White Scars get a Renegade Raiders version.
Whoa, easy. I think what we should do for the next 15 minutes is that we should have chat try and sell you on what army you should take. That whatever this thing that you're going to is that you want to make content about. If content,
but I also want to win the tournament, right? That's a really important part of it.
Space Marines at a 50.5% win rate.
Yeah, you and I will vet it. And if any of it sounds terrible, we won't do that. But if they come up with a good idea, then it's possible.
So the current front runners is 1, just be really boring and play Shadowmark, right? Like that's the easiest. Just play Warhammer. I'm going to shoot people with Centurions. The boards are reasonably open. They're not like crazy open. Let me grab the tournament pack.
And you think that tournament report of I teleported the Centurion?
Yeah, no. I know, bro. I know it's not going to be that interesting. Nothing's going to be that interesting. It's just Warhammer, bro.
You just painted Aethon, didn't you?
I did just
model.
I have not gotten to use my Aethon yet. That is part of the.
An absurd number of Guardsmen.
I could play an absurd number of Guardsmen.
We're going to read it live. Amazing.
So we're playing. Oh God, this is. So I'm gonna grab the mission set as well. Give me 1 second.
Can you show us what the terrain key looks like real quick, just so I know?
Sure. So they're all just ruins, and then the orange thing is like a concrete wall that you can't go through.
Are they all 1 story? Are they 2 stories?
They are mostly like I think the large ones and the medium ones are like multi-story. The tiny ones are like the WTC small ruin sized.
Okay.
Sure.
Thanks.
Okay, so mission pack is list submission is the 12th of October. We're gaming, kids. We're not late. Anthony's
Sunday.
So round 1 is terraform sweeping engagement on this map.
Okay.
Which seems kind of deeply cursed. So you're kind of looking at like
dude.
That as your deployment. So I did look at this on the TTS. This ruin is holdable from inside this building by like 1 model's like ball hair.
What if that guy had 4 OC?
That's a fair point. I tried looking at putting a Norn on it. It didn't work. The Norn has to go around the building. It wasn't very fun.
Yep.
So this is the round 1 map. Then the round 2 and 3 map is this map on Hammer and Anvil and Search and Destroy.
Seems fine.
Which seems, again, very exposed.
But good for rezzing shenanigans.
Every map's good for rezzing shenanigans. And then this map is Tipping Point and Crucible of Battle.
That looks fine.
It looks fine.
The biggest thing that I kind of like want to shout out for them is that just because of these reinforced concrete walls, the board edge angles are kind of terrible on every single version, which is kind of like keeping me away from like thinking about Shadowmark. So generally, I'm not convinced about like that kind of space with it. So Shadowmark's 1 runner. The next version, the version that's the most boring, is just playing like a Gladius version of my Stormraven list without a Stormraven, because I think it's still pretty good, but like Triple Redemptor, Double Vindicator, Gollum and Calgar, Gladius, like Gladius. It's as fun as, nothing.
Yeah, it's as fun as doing your taxes.
Yeah, it's the same shit again. Like, it's good. If you're looking for a Space Marine army, you want someone to play, I would recommend it. Don't want to make content about it. I just did that video.
How about Final Day Tyranids? Or Final Day GC?
I don't hate myself.
He's not going back.
One of the options is obviously the Eric style invasion fleet list. I do think it would be fun. I don't want to, like I said, I don't currently own enough gaunts to play it.
Neil just offered you.
Nope. The problem with it is that anybody who's got like gaunts to lend doesn't have the right gaunts because they're not going to be on 20 mil bases. They're not going to have spine fists. They're not going to have the mini flamers. It will be some combination of all of those when you borrow them because the new kit only came out in 2023. When they're on 20 mils, no one will have bought those kits because they were like the ones that came in the Leviathan launch box don't have the weapon sprue because
That's true.
it's just evil. So I looked. You can't buy the weapon screw separately anywhere. Like you can't get them on anywhere. It's awful.
Could you play?
I have
orcs?
20. I think I need 80. So it's a pain.
60.
I think I'd need to double check. I might have.
Okay.
I might have 20. Might have 30. But yeah, not having the weapon sprue is a pain in the ass. That makes me not want to play the list. But I do think it's super good fun. It's like double Maliceptor, Invasion Fleet, 130 gaunts. I think I'm short Hormonots as well, but I don't mind putting Hormonots on 20 mil bases because at least they have the right weapons. Yeah, so that's one option. What else is options? There are other Nid builds that are like vaguely interesting. Ryan Verbeck played a really cool Synaptic Nexus list, but it's double Norn. I don't feel good about Norns on those boards. I am trying that out at the weekend though because I think it seems like good fun.
So those-
Hyperdaptor Ravagers are cool.
Those look like very good melee boards.
Yeah, World Eaters again is an option, but I am cognizant of walking into the double Gatman Chaos Knight metagame of Sweden.
If you don't want to play that, can I propose to you World Eaters in a different trench coat of Space Wolves?
That's what I was going to recommend with Space
So-
Wolves.
Go on then. What's the elevator pitch on Space Wolves?
So the Space Wolves thing is I've only put this on a table once, but it was a goddamn hilarious immediate 20. So it was Arjak, Logan, 30 Wolfen, 15 TCAV in Stormlance. And the fact that the Wolfen are not super great into infantry doesn't matter because you're Stormlance. And if it goes bad, they're probably not going to kill that many of you, and you just fuck off and try again next turn.
Yeah, I think I own 0% of that list, which is a genuine problem. But
I didn't know how much of that you had.
I Space Wolves has never really been an army I played. Black Templars is also on the short list, right? Just doing like the double ref X triple sword brethren list with Grimmy and stuff like that, like the David Gillard.
That would be-
build is boring as sin, but
Yeah,
it would be
that's
good on
incredible.
those maps,
I
though.
played it for an Archie and it was so boring. I decided I did not want to. Alex, I don't want files. It's got to be real plastic ones. I am not having printed gaunts. They will destroy themselves. There's not
I've
an
gotten
option.
basically to battle round 2 or 3 of a Black Templar game every time and been like going back to Chaos. And that's as
It's
close as I've
utterly
gotten to
sauceless.
liking Marines.
Do you have Chaos Knights available to you in it?
I do not, and I also wouldn't want to play Chaos
He wouldn't
Knights. They're
play
just
that.
not
Yeah, it's
really
wrong,
very fun.
wrong vibe. And this likes infantry.
And this really does like 20 mans. 20 mans is
It just wants to talk about himself in the third person as well.
it's true, yeah.
The only other armies with like viable 20 mans is like Black Templars in theory.
Black
And we're really
Templars,
reaching
Space
on viable.
Wolves,
And
Space Wolves,
right?
Blood Claws, yeah.
Nids have the 20 mans. Crew, yeah, no, I'm not playing Tau.
could just-
Tau Monk God, I did look at and be like, oh, that would be kind of interesting, but
You could just bang out the Eaters again, bro.
yeah,
On those boards, it might be fine.
I'm not convinced, man. The sweeping board is real sketchy.
It's round 1.
What about-
When was the last time you lost round 1?
2023.
Why not just borrow orcs from Brian?
It's fine.
Because Brian lives in London.
So
You're flying to
Figure it
Poland
out.
first. You could probably pick up
yeah,
something from the
what the
fucking
fuck,
Poles.
bud? Just go take a fucking train.
It's gonna be real
Motherfucker.
disruptive to your day job if you miss a day.
Yeah, I'm not
And-
sure. Like everything just
I think-
feels like the metagame feels super open. And obviously then Eldar is always an option, right?
Ew,
Like, you
no.
could play Eldar.
You just said you wouldn't want to do that.
I don't
fuck
want to do
that.
it, but it is an option. I did finish picking my avatar. I could play the avatar.
You could play Sisters.
I could, but I
Just the stupid
curious why.
sacrosanct spam, and then you get the turbo vol to scratch the I need a powerful unit itch.
it doesn't sound that fun.
I mean, is
Kari,
Drakari legal?
demons.
Drukari would be legal, wouldn't it? Because list lock's not until Sunday and they release
Theoretically,
Saturday.
yes.
Can I sell you on some bets? A little wager?
About what?
A little Reaper's wager, dude.
But if I go and play Reaper's Wager right after losing to Alex, I'm gonna start looking a bit weird.
I'm just
Like,
saying.
copy the thing you lost it, right?
It's. I mean, I wouldn't do that, but because you can't, because it's not the index anymore. But you know, Sacrosanct spam is a dope time. Reaper's Wager.
Haha, I have an out for this one. The
All right.
Sacrosanct player says they're bad, so
Fair. That does not track with my lived experience, but that's fine. The Reaper's Wager is pretty good, and it's a lot of fun. Just saying. If you want to play elves, but with a bit more knife in the knife here,
yeah,
Necrons
and you
is
get
a
to play
possibility.
a 13 clown unit, which is really funny.
that does sound quite fun.
It deep
I don't know.
strikes off rapid with 18-inch lone op. It's fucking hysterical.
I love
That
the
is always
Shadow
fun.
Seer in that unit. It is great.
It's
Just
so
for
funny.
randomly, I'm here. I can't be shot. Goodbye.
Yeah.
I will continue to have a think about it. As always, talking to people about my list choices never seems to help.
Well, except
Double
for
Anthony
the two
Wright-
times.
Tell you.
Anthony writes your list.
I
for
came to you and was like,
anyways.
Anthony, write me a list with Triple Redemptor, and then submitted it. That's not the same thing as soliciting an army suggestion.
I'm just saying.
It's not that different.
It's
It's not
pretty
that different.
It's pretty different.
If you take the Drukhari list, we hit the trifecta and you win with it, that would be so funny. Come on. I mean, you don't have to decide now, but I think it'd be fucking hilarious.
It would be great.
18 Centurion Shadowmark Talon, hell yeah.
Yeah.
All Assault Centurions, obviously.
Yeah,
There
just,
you go. Of course.
just trolling, just picking them up, putting them down, rolling 9, seeing how it goes.
18 Assault Cent Shadow Stormlance, baby. Let's go. If the new Stormlance detachment's out, I might, or the new White Scarf detachment, that might be an option.
I will say I have been on the receiving end of like just 3 Stormlance assault cents before.
Nah,
from
it's
John.
rude, isn't it?
That shit sucked. I hated getting hit by that. That fucking blew.
If the new detachments are out by Saturday, I might take one of those. Actually, that would be a fun one.
That's probably honestly the move, right?
If there's a new one out by Saturday, I'll submit it if I can. I think that's probably
I think that's a fair commit. If you win it with Iron Hands, can we get a tattoo bet for the Iron Hands logo?
Iron Hand. Well, Iron Hands bet would be having me losing it, right?
I mean,
Like,
kinda.
I'm not getting a tattoo for win. I'm not taking a tattoo bet where I get a tattoo if I win the tournament, right? Like we did that one already.
I actually am still waiting for Brian to commission that one.
3 Storm Ravens, yeah.
The way the second and third Storm Raven are so indescribarbly worse than the first one.
I would imagine if I was playing 3 Triple Storm Raven, it would have to be in White Scar. It would have to be in Warbane. It would not be Space Marine list.
I mean, you could do it in ultras, right? Dad says kill that guy, and then he says kill that guy, and you can kind of.
I was like vaguely like looking at for like a local archie doing the Stormlance Thunderhawk, but. Do you know what the defensive profile of Thunderhawk is, bro? It's fucking glorious. It's
no
2 up,
13?
toughness 12 with 30 wounds.
Hell yeah. That's a new and exciting way to die of Waken.
Sure. It's data sheet rule. Each time you do a deep strike disembark from it can still charge. So you bring Ventress, you give Calgar deep strike with Ventress, and then you put him in the Storm Raven, drive it to the Thunderhawk, drive it 24, and jump him out the front and charge with him. It's glorious.
Would you consider 30 Scarab Occults?
No, I'm not Malta.
But you could be.
Malta moved to Shadowmark. Come on, Malta won that German event with it this weekend.
That's fair.
What about Leagues of Votann with the Zerk detachment?
Delve, dude. How did we not bring up Delve?
I'm just saying it could be good. Delve with like 50 Zerks could be fun. I don't know where you'd get 50 Zerks.
30 World Eaters Terminators, Anthony. Team Australia, meta.
They don't even.
Come by Leeds in a limo. Leeds is not on the way to Poznan, my friend.
Well, I mean, it probably technically is, but
It is based on how Innis is traveling there. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going this way, then back to like right the same place.
I don't know basically anything about Leeds, but I have a friend from Leeds, and every time I tell someone like, "Oh yeah, like one of my best friends growing up, he's from Leeds," the other person, if they're from England, always says, "I'm sorry." It's happened Every time I've said it, like without fail. I thought it was just like a funny bit from like one person, like from the South or something, but literally every time.
Yeah, no, Leeds,
the other person
Leeds
just
is
goes,
not a
"Oh, I'm
nice place.
sorry."
It's mostly because Carl's there, but
He wasn't when my friend was.
all right. Shall we do some show questions before we do that? I should do the
Yes.
plugs.
You should.
All right. Let me go and pull up the list. I'm glad that, as always, I'm impossible to sell in an army. Is unfortunately the problem. I don't trust anyone as much as my last minute submissions. Is the oh yeah, Ben's got the real answer. Just play the lion again to make more content.
Holy shit, that's
There you
gaming,
go.
dude. Take Wrath, win a real tournament, so I could stop talking shit.
Honestly, that's just what you should do. You should just play Dark Angels.
I talk a lot of shit about the lion for someone who's deathly afraid of him catching on.
That's
I was
why you
looking
talk shit
like
about him.
Lion, Triple Redemptor, Dreadnought, Gladius.
I mean, it'd be funny.
Just-
Look, I'll write it right
Gladius,
now.
It's just Gladius, bro.
Triple lion. Yes, if only.
If
It
I could
would
play
be
Triple
very
Lion, I
scary.
goddamn would. 3 lions might hit the point where one of them might actually make combat, but they're dying to Fuegan.
Just single tears rolling down
Yeah,
every
just
single Dark Angels player's face.
Brutal.
You're one Melta save away from your unit being gone. I was chatting to Ed Watts at LGT and was like, yeah, he died to just Fuegan. Like, just Fuegan, he failed the save, and I rolled a 3 and he died.
Yeah,
Because it's Melta, or I rolled a 4 and he died because it's Melta 6.
that's tough.
What are you going to do?
You could do what Ben just said. Triple Vengeance, Triple Redemptor, Lion.
I don't own any Vengeances, and I really don't want to buy a Legends.
Isn't that just like you fucking ram 2 of your speeder storms together and like, that basically is the same thing?
Just do the fusion dance. Yeah, play a Rivenwind Calamax and see how long it takes the TO to notice.
There's no way they'll know, right? Isn't a Vengeance just the same size?
No, a Vengeance is significantly bigger than a Storm Speeder. Like the not the like the Land Speeder Storms, the like old Dark Angels, the Legends ones.
Yeah.
Right. Let's do the plugs. All right, everybody. If you are an hour into the show, you're probably enjoying it enough to help us out a little bit. So we would appreciate if you could do all the usual social media interaction stuff, like, comment, subscribe, all that, blah, blah, blah. If you're in a position to support us a little bit more and you would like to, you can check out Patreon or the YouTube memberships program in the description below. There we go. Jesus, that was hard to get out. For $5 a month, you can get access to our community Discord. You can participate in the Vibe Check Leagues. You can chat with us all times of the year. We did a watch party for the LVO finals and sat and watched it until it got boring. Which was around the time we realized that the Deathwatch army was getting tabled by the Guardsmen. And yeah, just generally prevaricate about life, Warhammer, and everything with us. Apparently our News and Rumors channel has just become gender theory, which has been fun. Very, very common. So if you want to have terrible discussions about wonderful things, you can do that. Otherwise, if you want to hear more from us, you can check out youtube.com/statcheck. You can hear all of the back episodes of all of our shows, including Take All Comers, XM1, End of the Matrix, and Champions of 40K. I think there's even upcoming XM1 content. Ooh, Anthony, you were preparing stuff.
We're scheduling it. It's happening. There was a group chat made. People agreed. We're working on time.
You guys are going to hear Cliff content again. Woo! It's been a while. We're excited. So yeah, keep your ears tuned for that. We're live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. UK time. The schedule will probably disjoint for a couple of weeks for probably UK time zones in a couple of weeks because we're gonna have our time zone change, and the US won't have theirs for a couple of weeks afterwards. So it'll be a bit fucky for a while. Just keep an eye out for when we're live. You'll see. And you can find all of our sponsors in the description below. That's J15 Games, Saltar Games, Red Dragon, and Will and Yutani. You can find discount codes for all of them, including Red Dragon. Red Dragons is a Patreon exclusive discount code, but you can find those on the Patreon and the YouTube membership program. If you'd like to work with any of our coaches, you can check out stat-tech.com/coaching or drop us an email at coaching@stat-tech.com. And I think that's about it. The only other thing is we did some content this week. I did my episode of Innis Reports for the LGT. Anthony did the Drakari breakdown with Pao Pongson. And I was also on Art of War Down Under alongside David Gaylord to talk about Space Marines. So if you want to hear any of those, go and find them all the places that podcasts and videos can be found, but mostly just youtube.com/statcheck or the Art of War YouTube channel. I think that's all I've got. We're going to go into the questions. As always, there's 3 ways to get your questions on the show. One is to just ask a really good question. We'll answer it if we have time. The second is to be a member of the YouTube and Patreon and to ask it in the Discord. And the third is to leave a super chat on the live show on Tuesdays. Nathan, take us away.
Before we do that, I just wanted to show Anthony how much different those two land speeders are than one another.
Oh, yes.
Just because I think it's funny. Just because I think it's funny. I'm going to share screen. I'm going to hit a button. Here it is. There we go. This is the size difference between a regular land speeder and that other land speeder.
Fucking jam them together, dude. It'll be fine.
They're about the same.
Put them both on the base. Turn one around.
When we were
when
I was like first getting into Outlander Claw, I like was really close to turning my old Landspeeder Storms into my Ridge Runners. It's like I didn't want to buy Ridge Runners, so I was just like, I'll just put Landspeeder Storms on bases with wheels, and I ended up just getting prints. But
it's okay. I just thought it was really funny when I pulled it out, and it was like just a Landspeeder with an extra large trunk. That's all. All right. Questions. Here we go. The first question is from Sean, which I added just because I wanted to, Sean. I don't care that you said that you'd remember that you'd put it in the thread. Would the game be better if anti-effects were exclusive instead of inclusive? I feel like we are seeing issues where anti-monster is rare and anti-infantry leaves weird holes for mounted beast/swarm that should fluff-wise probably not be insulated from the effects.
I think they should move to a flesh and metal system. Things can be anti-flesh X and anti-metal X, and that would solve like
we used to have
99% of these problems.
There used to be a rule called Armor Bane and a rule called Flesh Bane. So
there you go. We got it right there. We're good.
Boom,
ready for ready.
It.
The problem with Flesh Bane was that it made monsters fucking awful. But
okay.
Obliterators making confused noises is correct. Are we flesh? Are we metal? Are we both? Oh no!
They just have the flesh metal keyword. Duh.
Yeah. Obliterators get hit by both. Fuck them.
Sorry, Liam. This is a direct nerf to you.
I have more obliterators than you can legally play. That would make me really sad, but it's fine.
It's fair. All right. The next question is: was there ever any progress on the stat check Playtown gaming mat? Along with a lot of our merch attempts, it has fallen down the pipe of we tried. And then something blew up. But we'll try again.
We've tried so many times. We genuinely think that shirts might just be cursed. Because
I don't know what it is. Surely other people have figured this out.
Yep. We got recommendations for the first one, and then that company blew itself up, which was very funny, but also very sad.
Yeah.
Then we've tried multiple times. If anyone knows a good person that will make and sell the shirts for us, that will not take 97% of the profit, it'd be wonderful to know, but we genuinely can't find one.
You can send me a DM if you have a recommendation for a service that you've used for a merch store, and we can chat about your experience on it, and we'll see if we can do something. As for the mats, we would love to. We would have to have an artist make it first, because we can't use the Playtown thing that is already generically available. Also, that would be fun. Also, there wasn't a lot of interest from the community beyond a few people. Very
yeah, it was very much like a, haha, that'd be funny, but also funny haha does not necessarily mean we should make merch of it.
Yeah.
True. Right. Mac has the next question, which is to the crew. What do you feel is an auto-include unit for a Shadowmark Talon list? Also, how do you feel it shines better? Does it shine better in a singles environment or in a teams environment?
I think it can work in both. I think it is probably a bit board dependent no matter which way you cut that. On GW boards, it probably works on most of them. On WTC, you'd have to look. A lot of WTC singles events run 4 or 5 as their standard board for everything, and on Crucible and shit, that ain't gonna work. So, though it is possible, right? The big thing with Shadowmark, I think the thing with Shadowmark that gets greased a lot of the time that people just don't talk about is that list is equal parts a Devastator Centurion delivery system as it is in Inceptors and Vanguard Veterans delivery system. So some matchups where the Dev Sense don't get to do their thing because the board fuckery or whatever.
Yeah, the Dev Sense just park on a shooting lane and are if they die, they die. It's fine.
Yeah,
they're not that
much
of your list.
It still fucks you up.
Yeah. You suddenly have a whole bunch of really good staging zones for 6-inch deep strikes and Vanguard Vets. I think the alt includes are Dev Sense, at least one squad of 6 Inceptors, probably 2 squads of 3 on top of that. At least one squad of Vanguard Veterans and one squad of something else to Rapid Ingress. Should probably be Vanguard Veterans, but could be JPIs, could be Terminators if you're crazy. And then the Lone Up Lieutenant and Shrike and Sean. And then after that, it's kind of infantry-ish to taste, right? Your dealer's choice of scouts, incursors, infiltrators, intercessors, etc., etc.
All right. Mindalilin has the next question, which is any micro/technical advice for Warpbane playing into Warhorde on GW? Is it worth trying to move block them, or is it better to castle and try to weather the wall?
I found that if you just if you castle and weather the wall, some of their stuff will bounce. It just like mathematically will. You have enough stuff with 2-up saves and interrupts and all that kind of stuff that just something will not work, and it's pretty manageable. And then like their defensive tools don't work that great against Warpbane. Like -1 to wound, Crow Break just does not care about. Yeah, like lead into that. Like, but you don't have enough stuff to move block them. You can kind of like move block areas, but they're going to connect to you. Don't try to stop it. Just make it so that your most important things, they don't connect to the Crow Brick. They don't connect to the Storm Raven if you're playing that right. Like keep them off assets. You're not going to keep them off you. Don't try. Just absorb and respond. Something will bounce. Everything. Something bounces off of everything in Dread Knights. Like you just have to rely on make 2-up saves and hope it works a little bit.
That makes sense.
Also, like if on the turn they're about to shove into you, consider popping like the everything that ends within 6 of me takes D3 mortal wounds on a 2-up stratagem, because you'll just like strip a couple dudes off of every unit that runs at you that turn, and then you can like -2 to charge, and you can overwatch, and if you've got a decent amount of CP under you, that can be really nasty for them.
You can control something, right? Which beats the like I've done nothing and now I'm getting killed.
I've done nothing, and I've tried nothing, and we're all out of ideas.
Yeah.
All right, the Boda Zifa has the next question, which is, what's the best way to adjust to a new meta? I had a subterranean list that worked amazing before this patch, but in the couple of games I've had, it has felt quite worse without the list changing much.
Think about what's changed in the environment that you don't have to worry about as much anymore, and what's become new, and then think about the tools in your list that was critical for that, and then think about the changes. If the change changes the fundamental game plan too much, look for a different detachment, or change the list significantly and adapt to a new game plan. Mostly it's just playtesting and guesswork and instinct is a lot of the new meta adaptation stuff.
The next question is from Henry the Fart Master.
Oh yeah.
Damn it. What's your favorite sci-fi TV series, non-40K? I don't really think there are very many 40K TV series, or any at the moment. I really like Murderbot.
40K?
Yeah, Murderbot's good. I enjoyed that show. I liked the books a lot more, but the show is funny.
The first season of Altered Carbon is sick.
It was
The
very
first
good. The
season
second
of
one was
Altered Carbon is really
a little
good.
disappointing.
I watched 2 episodes and gave up.
I made it
Oh,
through.
it's
but
awesome.
Yeah, the first one was great.
I might rewatch that.
Arcane was fantastic. I loved Arcane.
Does Arcane qualify as a sci-fi show?
I would have called it one, but I guess not. The first 2 seasons of Mandalorian. The Expanse is a good shout.
The Expanse is good.
The Boys, I guess, counts for this.
I suppose. Anthony, if you liked Altered Carbon, you would probably like Murderbot Diaries. It's pretty funny.
Oh yeah,
it's very sarcastic.
Oh, I really enjoyed the first season of 3 Body Problem. I'm looking forward to the second one.
Melody, Alien Earth is a great shout. I really want to watch it, but I've been hearing amazing things about that show.
God damn it, dude. That gets me every time.
Thank you to Poop Smash for the $10. Shout out to Fart Master. I don't know the man, but he seems like my kind of homie.
You said his name wrong, dude, because it's not like just Poop Smash, it's Poop Smash. Like it really the capital on the back half of the name gets me every time.
Would you prefer if it was Fart Master?
Yeah.
Yes, actually, yes.
Oh,
all right. The next question is from John Johnston. God damn it. What's the best tools and archetypes into AdMech now? My experience with them before was just 2 games where I got tabled and asked myself, isn't this army supposed to be bad? So I'm worried about the new buffs.
The army is obviously terrible. What are the archetypes? Kills you dead and kills you dead in shooting?
Yeah, so my understanding of what makes AdMech good, based on accidentally writing a GT winning list for it, is that you are really efficient on your trash, and your damage, if you pick certain units, is just like, yes, it's like anti-everything, yes. There's no like, these things have specific roles, and these things have specific roles. They kind of just blow you apart. They seem to struggle with, specifically, this is going to be real specific, so they struggle with deliverability of the anti-everything damage, but a significant component of what lets AdMech win games is the fact that their move blocking and anti-infantry damage in the form of the Ruststalkers is deliverable is an understatement. Absurdly fast. Like, way too quick.
+2 to advance and charge is a lot.
Out of a transport with an 8-inch base moving unit, like it gets real fucky really quick. +1 to advance and charge, like it's dumb. So they are, what you need is some way to answer them that may not involve movement. So some form of access to fight on death or something like that. A durability way that you can kind of just like tough your way through it. Now, Rust Stalkers have anti-infantry 3-up and are AP2 and damage 2. That shit, scary. So you need like an AOC or good armor save.
Triple Redemptor.
Or that dies really fast to the shooting assets.
Details. That sounds like context.
But those things are good into AdMech except for the shooting assets, right? Managing all of like their shit that needs to be near each other, or like the way certain things get buffs from other things, can be kind of challenging. So your ability, to the best of your ability, to knock out their trash assets and their support pieces is really helpful. Call is a bastard, so if you're going to go after him, make sure you don't miss, because he'll fuck you up, and that shit is bad. Yeah, there's just a lot of... like, the holes you're looking for in AdMech are challenging, because they're the same thing that, like, once an edition, this type of thing becomes good, where what is meant to be, like, either, like, the Rat faction or something like that in a given, like, super faction gets over-buffed in some way, shape, or form, where they now do too much damage, or they have too many things, or, that.
It's a Team Australia Measure for chat.
The Measure, yeah. That happens all the time. So... when this type of stuff happens, they're good at everything. They're good at combined arms. The way to beat them, usually, in my experience, is to skew harder into being better than them at something and then jam that. It's just kind of tough to do that.
Yeah. All right. The next question is from Fangor. Do you think Eldar have a place in 5-man teams events right now? Thinking about Eldar or Sisters.
I mean, Eldar have a great spot there, yeah.
Eldar are a great anti-things with defensive profiles army. Don't try to pair them into, like, World Eaters.
Yeah, that seems bad for the Eldar player. Pius has the next question, which is, what would you look for when selecting players for a team?
People who want to be there is a great starting point. After that, sort by skill.
Honest to God, like, effort and, like, willingness to do the things is, like, so much more of the battle than
people who want to be there and actively engage with the process, right? People who are gonna do the matrixing, prep the list, chat about your list with you, talk about like the concepts, fill out the super matrix, all that kind of stuff is super important. It's more important than someone who is just like raw a little better. You need someone who's going to engage with the process and then perform. And then after that, once you've got like 5 people who want to do that, if you've got a 6th person, then you start looking at, okay, whose armies are good right now, who's like willing to play the shit eater role because someone's going to have to do it, right? Like just, sort by that.
John the King Potato has the next question, which is opinions on countries getting more or less team slots for WTC based on player density in tier, with 1 being the minimum and maybe 2 to 3 maximum. Interesting. Like you get more teams?
If you win the event, you should be able to bring a 2nd team next year, and that's it.
Sure. That seems like a good reward, actually.
If you prove that you can win the event, and you're like, we can bring a 2nd team, we'll prove we can come 1st and 2nd. If you can do that, and you have a 2nd team. Until then, suck it up. Bring a better team.
Does that mean the 3rd year you get to bring a 1st, 2nd, and a 3rd team?
Yeah, if you come 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, you get a 3rd team.
Excellent. Cool.
Or 1st team, you get a 3rd team. Like, that just seems, you get to add the extra team for next year. That seems fun.
Sure. Right. Orestes has a question specifically for Anthony, which says you're 80% Tzatziki, 15% feta, and 5% still in denial. So tell us, on a scale from 1 to John Stamos dipping dolmas into yogurt, how Greek have you become?
Well, unfortunately, he's also 50% concentrated power of will. So
yeah he's I don't know what happened, dude. I like hung out with Orestes for a week in Austria, and I came home and like the lunch that I've eaten for like basically the last week is I made a bunch of chicken, been eating it in just like, some carbless wraps with some red onion and tzatziki sauce, and that's been it. And it's been banger every time. But
that's the 5% pleasure.
Yeah, that I agree. On that note, my weight started with a 1 for the first time this morning. Yay! Woohoo! It was 199, but much like being top 4, that counts.
All right. The next question is from Kelrain, which is, oh man, I probably pronounced that wrong. But what armies haven't you played yet in 10th and are interested to play?
Admech.
I think orcs are the army that I'm interested in trying out.
I
saw,
yeah, just AdMech for me.
but
I
Admech
bounced
too,
off orcs when I tried them in the pre-WTC process so hard that I injured myself. So I don't know why. I think it's because I didn't play with battle wagons. I played with too many trucks, and they're just like too fragile. And like, if you're going to be a fragile transport, you can't also not fly. So
reasonable.
yeah,
Toughness 8 is such a bad profile number.
I got massacred in the game that I tried them in, and like, benefit of hindsight, I got a lot of it wrong, but still, yuck.
Every time I play a Dread Knight and someone's like, so my multi-multi wounds, and I'm like, 3s, brother. They're just like, oh no, this is bad for you. And I'm like, yeah, it's not going to be great.
Yeah.
All right. The next question is from
Bile, Ben.
The next question is also from John the King Potato. What worst take you made in 10th edition?
The tactical was going to be fine.
I have a lot of I told you so's in my pocket from the beginning of 10th.
Mine is I think mine is really that all of the comeback mechanics were okay and that we just needed to give it time, and none of them were okay. It's just, it wasn't a good mechanic.
The thing is, though, Anthony, I still don't agree with you about fucking faction secondaries. I still exist in
That's
multitudes.
fine. Look, you can hold off until we get to next edition to agree with me about that. But
No,
in
I will
time,
not. I
like
will
the
not get. I
walking
will never give
predator
you
our
faction.
ancestors were, I will catch you.
I do not. I have over the course of this edition, I have grown to like this implementation of tactical cards less and less.
Yep.
Anthony, that's why Innis has been training to run, so you cannot, in fact, catch him.
It's true. I can almost run a 5K, Anthony. I can go.
I did find and download that app this morning, so coming for you, bitch.
I'm still going to be 8 weeks ahead of you.
I think mine is, I honest to God, like, despite all of the shit that I get for being like turbo negative a lot of the time, I stand by like most of the takes that I've had. However, one that I definitely got too mad about and missed the forest for the trees was the first time World Eaters got nerfed. Because I was pissed when they nerfed the Berserker Glaive. I was so mad. But that was like, it was mostly fine afterwards. It didn't actually matter that much.
Maybe he didn't need to be damage 5.
Look, they left the Vortex alone. And for that, I am still upset. But, you know, over time, it worked out. World Leaders were okay.
All right. Neil has the next question, which says, inspired by the article on GW Layout 1 and probably a horridly wide question, what would you do to improve the GW terrain layouts?
Just let more terrain, like, I don't know, like they have this really cool like arrowhead thing that they use. They just don't use it often enough. Like they use it on like 2 of the layouts and one of them's like a disjointed one. Just use that more. Like just let people hide. It's okay if people can hide.
Yeah, I think those just need a little bit more staging, and they have a few of those layouts that have just too many lines that go end to end.
I think a few of them just need like the ruin on like layout 6. The ruin in the top left corner just needs to be oriented a different way so that you can like hide on the objective and stuff like that. Like a little bit more. Like it doesn't need to be able to hide everything. Like I appreciate that. Like with the way that GW plays with Intro in the Wall, you need to be able to access the objectives a little more than you do on WTC boards.
What I was going to say with that is they should make it so that if you want to be able to hold stuff from behind walls, you should be able to, but you'd have to be within an inch of the wall to do it.
Yeah, or you get like 1 OC, and that's it, and it's very contestable.
Yeah,
or like
you get
one
guy. That's fine.
Yeah.
More than even some of that stuff, I think GW's boards, just all of the ruins need to be taller on them, because I think that helps at GW Open specifically where their ruins are relatively short.
Yes,
which deals with the towering problem that Venture talks about a little bit.
It's not going to fix it, but it'll help.
It's not going to fix it. It'll help.
Yeah,
helping is okay because I think
playing like GW layouts with WTC ruins is actually really fun because they're like tall enough to actually hide in.
As long as you play them with the WTC rule, so that you don't have to charge all the way the fuck around a WTC ruin, it's fine.
Sure, I'd agree with that.
Or No Man's Land staging that's not on layout 1 would be nice. Layout 1 has all of the No Man's Land staging in WTC on GW layouts.
Honest to God, like layout 1 is still not that melee.
Yeah, no, it's not even.
Yeah,
but it's better than the rest of them.
A lot of them. Yeah.
There are a few layouts that are just generically cursed as well that shouldn't see event play. That's fine. It's okay to be 90% of the way there and need to get 10% to the rest of the way there and like changes.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, how those layouts are. Isaac has the Isaac Shadow Crayon T. Sorry. I like that. Favorite list of the edition.
He doesn't get a full marker. He gets a shadow crayon.
Yep. That's funny.
Favorite list of the edition is the first question. For all the terribleness of it, I just liked seeing Wraith Knights on tables. I don't know. It was a bad thing that happened, but I enjoyed seeing that giant ass model on tables. I thought that was cool.
The 10 Deathwing Knights, 10 Desolation Marines list from the first WTC was goddamn
you guys
smart.
Are awful people.
I liked seeing a model that I've never seen played before ever and will never be played afterwards, just for that one.
Desolation Marines are my favorite unit in the game, Anthony. You're not going to take this away from me.
The World Leaders list I took not last WTC, the one before.
We've dropped as Anthony, so I'll move on to the next question, which is: am I weird for watching Innis at 2x speed? Yes, you are weird for watching.
You're a normal human being. When I like review my content to like see if I said anything crazy before I edit it, I watch it on 1.5.
How could you possibly know?
That's true. Innis is really doing us all a favor by slowing down to half normal speed for the rest of us on the show.
I'm doing it for the ad revenue. You can't watch me on 2 times speed. You gotta watch me at normal speed. That's more ad revenue, baby.
Fair enough.
Fine. Isaac says, I played 4 Euros over my LVO weekend and RTT, and they were all incredible gems, one of which was probably my favorite game of the year. Are Euros just built different with play and sportsmanship?
Yes.
Most of them. Agreed.
It's broadly a bit better in my experience from a sportsmanship perspective when I go across. That is not to say that is like night and day. It's not crazy. There's just a bit more like competitive maturity across the pond in my experience. I get less like, dude, what? When I'm there.
There you go.
Now, a lot of that is colored by the fact that the majority of the events that I play are WTC affiliated in some way, shape, or form. So I'm either playing a WTC player or their team's prospects, right? But even when I was doing like UKTC stuff and stuff like that, I would say in general, it was just a bit more competitively mature.
I've honestly only had like 2 bad games in my career so far, and that's where I want to stay at. That's where I'm good at. I'm happy with that number.
Bad, right? It's not like the US games are like bad, but there's a lot of like, you know, you show up, you put the clock down, the other person's like, do we really need that? And I just don't want to start a game like that. Like that type of stuff, right? It's not bad, but it's just a little awkward for no reason,
right?
You know?
I will say, though, that 100% of my bad games have been in the United States. So there's the answer to that second part of the question.
I can't make that claim, but more than, for having only played like 30 in the United States, a weirdly high percentage of them have been in the United States.
Yeah, I've definitely had my share of unpleasant ones, but they're like relative to the scale of games played, it's, you know.
Right. All right. Anthony, do you just run John's Emperor's Children's list, or do you believe in Triple Prince?
I mean, Triple Prince is an idea I got from John. So, yes, I believe in Triple Prince, and yes, I run John's list. John and I were talking in the like Team USA Discord about like what to run in Emperor's Children, and we went back and forth a bunch. We kind of landed on like the thing we both landed on was when we were talking about it was Triple Prince.
Fair enough.
That was it.
All right.
Princes are cool.
Next question is from Aaron Imperialis Knight, which is, how do I, a lowly Sisters player, deal with Fuegan's bullshit in a tank behind a square wall terrain ever?
Don't
stand
know. Within, look, the way you deal with Fuegan, and the way that you have to try to deal with Fuegan, is you got to make the serpent come out. If you can't make the serpent come out, you're not going to deal with Fuegan, and that's okay. You can just lose in your deployment zone. You got to make the serpent need to come out for Fuegan to go back into it. So you got to cut some angles. You got to play some ranges. You got to be like, if you want to kill 2 things, you got to come out. And then the other player's like, ooh, monkey brain goes for the kill. And then you get to catch him. If they don't bring Fuegan out the wall, they don't often get to kill all this stuff. And that's fine. Or you make Fuegan go off to Guam and you fight the other side of the board. That one works too, mostly. Especially if you can catch the serpent when it dies. Yeah. You got to make the serpent go somewhere. If you can make the serpent go to a second location, the serpent doesn't often recover from that.
That's true.
The next question is from Eric Colts-Chan, which is, how much, if any weight, should a competitive player give to their opponent's experience when designing a list to take to a tournament?
What?
Like,
I
how
don't really
much,
follow the
if you're
question.
writing a list for another person, how much
Oh.
do you take their level of competitive playerness into account when you're designing that list?
I'm gonna just
Entirely.
go read the question because I'm still confused. So you guys talk.
If you're
I mean,
helping
I read
someone
it-
write a list, you should.
I'm gonna just read it again. Just you talk.
If
about
you're
it for a
writing a
second.
list for someone else, you should definitely make sure that it's tailored to their experience and expectations. There is no point handing a guard player Nemo's list from LVO and being like, "You'll be fine playing this. This is the best guard list right now." They will not be fine. You will be going above and beyond their level of experience.
Okay,
Do not do that to them. They will have a bad time.
I have reread the question. I do not believe that's what they were asking.
Cool.
I
What did
think-
you think they were asking?
Based on reading that, the way that reads to me is how much weight should you, as a competitive player, give to your opponent at the table's experience? Right?
I mean,
Sure,
those are I think those are two valid interpretations of the
Sure.
question.
Go with that. Now you can answer that question because I did the.
You
first-
can answer that
the first version
question.
of it.
Yeah, and my answer to that question is absolutely fucking none. They didn't pay for your ticket. They didn't pay for you to show up. You should make your army, you should play exactly the thing that you, as the competitive pilot, are planning to play at the event. From there, however, the onus does fall on you if your list is challenging to follow to make it easy to follow. Tokens, cards, so on and so forth, so that your opponent can be clued into what is happening. However, if you're playing, I don't know, 6 bigs a couple months ago, that isn't up to your opponent to change that you doing that. It's up to no one to change you doing that. If you want to do that, you think that's your best path to winning, fucking ball on, soldier.
Do not rely on confusion to win tournaments is definitely a fair
Right.
point.
Yeah.
If you can't explain your list concisely to someone in such a way that they can follow it reasonably, then you probably shouldn't be playing the list because you can't. If you can't explain it, you probably don't understand it very well yourself.
Yeah.
But also, it's not your fault if your opponent, like, if you showed up with Yannara and your opponent didn't follow exactly what was going on, it's not really your fault. But
I mean,
you also
as
can't
long as
handhold
you
that guy's
were
experience.
reasonably clear and followable and you kind of explain the situations as they come up, like,
As long as you try to be clear and consistent
Hey,
with your
dude,
opponent.
just
like,
remember,
that's
don't
what
fire
you
those
need to
2 bolt
do.
pistols at my Corn Berserker squad, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Fair.
it's not hard to do, even
Yeah.
with lists that are challenging.
Yeah, people definitely segfaulted over like the Storm Raven at the weekend, just being like, where does it go? And I'm like, here is the Storm Raven, here's a fair flying base. Feel free to figure out how you think it can get places, and I'll tell you where else it can go.
Right.
The second question is there a list type that exists that is just such misery to play against it should be avoided, or is anything legal fair game?
It's
I
a
think this
tournament,
would-
bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say anything that can be played legally at a tournament is totally fair, and that is the
Now,
point
like,
of a tournament.
You
right?
know, if your local store's having a learn to play competitive tournament, like, you know, a local RTT that's like, hey, this is for people to get used to the game and learn to play competitive, maybe don't show up with 220 recon guardsmen.
But also,
But
if you know what you're doing, maybe don't go to that tournament in general.
exactly.
Yeah. Read the room a little bit is also a thing that you can do.
Yeah, but that's way different. Like, we're talking about the
Yep.
general competitive context. There's nothing like that in this game that is so verboten that, like, that should never happen.
Unless you're a tie player, you
If
know what you
you-
did.
If your opponent gets to the table, the old rule I picked up while I was playing Drukhari, and this might be a bit of an extreme response, but I picked this up when I was first starting Drukhari, and like the first super major I went to, like 3 separate opponents called me scum for taking them. I picked up a rule where the minute my opponent complains, I ask if they want to concede. And if they say yes, I move stuff so that it is not take backable. If you want to go down that road and be that person and salt out on all your opponents, enjoy your losses. But that's it.
I honestly have done the same thing for some opponents over time where I see my opponent having like just a definedly bad experience. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with you being whiny the whole fucking game.
Yeah. Dude, do you wanna
Are you
concede?
done? Yeah. If
Yeah.
it can be turn 2 and I'll be like, look, there's still a lot of game left, but you can also stop. Like these
You
are
don't
2
have
things
to
that
keep playing right
options.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can do something different. You want to go to the bar instead? When I played in the finals of a GT with Drukhari against plain spam orcs in 9th edition, which was just a bad experience, and I went second, my opponent was like, you're not going to win. do you want to just go get a beer? And I went and got a beer. Because, like, what the fuck?
Sick.
Why
Yeah.
do that? Like, he bought me a beer. We had a good game. It
Yep.
was fine. Like, that is just a thing that you can do. You can always be, like,
can just
not
leave.
wanting to. You can just leave.
There-
Honestly,
Where's
Cliff's
the meme?
perspective.
Where's the
Just
just
hit the
walk
brick-
out?
Hit the bricks. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
real winners
you-
quit.
At LVO, Cliff went to get a massage instead of
That
playing
wasn't even
around.
game related.
And that wasn't game related. He just went. He was like, I don't really want to play this round, and went and got a massage. That's fine too. Do whatever you want. You paid money to be there. Do what makes you happy. Like,
Yeah.
fuck it.
But
All
also be aware that if you bring a list that's complete bullshit to play against and no one wants to play against it, you might not get to play 5 games at your tournament. And you have to be okay that just getting the win's more important to you than playing that game. And that's fine.
I will complete
okay.
every conceded game like this.
Yeah.
Yep.
But other people don't have that experience, and that's fair.
Mhm. All right. The next questions are from Gorthouse Onslaught, which is Alex. Anthony, did you write Upstate Dan's AdMech list?
I did.
Yes.
With the help of Tyler, because there was initially some suboptimal choices, and then Tyler moved around like 150 points or something like that, and that was it.
Innis, why not AdMech for Sweden?
Because I don't really own an AdMech army, and it's one of those armies that's like hard to borrow because it's all weird new stuff that no one owns. Like my AdMech army is a 7th edition AdMech army, right?
I don't
I don't
think
own
it'd be
anything
that
that came
hard.
out after Dune, from Dune Riders onwards. It's a lot of the AdMech data slate.
I don't think it'd be that hard to
timeline.
borrow, dude. Dan borrowed literally everything this weekend.
It's hard to borrow in Scotland specifically. There is not a ton
But
of
you're
AdMech
not
going
going to
around.
Scotland, are you?
I feel like Sweden has a plurality of AdMech players.
I'm sure
based
it
off my
does.
experience looking at the stats.
I feel like you're not using your inner Josh Roberts enough, dude. Use the connections to borrow the powerful armies and win the tournaments. An AdMech video would be sick.
It
It's
would
a
be.
new perspective from someone that doesn't normally play them. That sounds dope.
I agree.
I'm never sure.
All right. The third question is, to all, does it matter if shirts ship from New Zealand? I've just messaged a friend. It doesn't matter, but it might matter because of how much shipping might
be
cost.
expensive.
It might be expensive. That's the answer to that question. Then the last one is to Nathan. You said you've had 2 bad games. What's the one other than the Pyropod incident? I want to be clear. I not even once had a bad experience with Anthony at the table during that. And part of the reason why I had such a positive experience is that the whole patron Discord lined up behind me to
Bro,
win.
It was
And
crazy.
every
I've
single
never-
person.
As an American, even never in my life have I been rooted harder against than in that game against Nathan. I
It
opened
was-
Discord on accident and was like, Jesus Christ, and had to close it so I could focus.
And after the game, I think me and Anthony talked about it, and he was like, "Fuck yeah, you lost."
Yeah, yeah,
Hey, if
he
you're gonna,
took, like,
if Discord's gonna be the heel, you gotta be the heel, right?
he,
that's
he
right.
took a couple of seconds to kick my corpse a couple times,
Yeah,
which
I
So,
got
Nathan,
healed right
shit,
after
you all
that.
suck for supporting him.
yeah, yeah.
and honestly, that game was lovely. Anthony's a great person. I've played against Anthony a few times, mostly
Yeah,
on
oh my
TTS,
goodness,
and
Anthony,
Anthony is a
miserable.
lovely person.
All one of them.
Hey, we
All
played
one of them.
twice.
I
What'd
will
you say?
say,
We played twice.
the one
Oh,
game
yes,
I played against.
sorry.
Oh no.
Just
I
me
have a
hiding
50%
anger on him, being like, I'm gonna get a 9.
Hey!
Oh.
That Mauler fiend got to
Oh.
have a beautiful moment.
That guy super died. That was bright shining hubris, folks. That's all that was.
And
Let it
I
be
will-
known that every single person, if you watched any of the like the War Games live streams, you'll have seen people just like walk face first into the Primus with lethals and full rerolls Overwatch and be like, "This will be fine," and then just lose their thing. Anthony was not immune.
It was fine. I would do it again, honestly. If I was in the exact same situation, I would still do it. Because the alternative is I get shot to death in your turn and it doesn't cost a CP.
Sure.
Yeah, it was great. I had a great time.
I will say
Alright.
I don't really want to talk about my bad games beyond like saying
It's
that
not
I've
fun
had
to talk
them.
about
It
bad
doesn't serve
Like-
anybody's purpose for me to shit on 2 people randomly on the internet.
Yeah. Bad games usually tend to be like not gameplay stuff, but personal stuff, which means they're not fun to talk about.
I think he mostly wanted you to talk about the Pyropop thing again. It's
Yep.
really
The
what the question
Pyropod was Anthony desperately trying to get me not to do it. Like that is most of the Pyropod is Anthony desperately trying to stop me.
I'm gonna give a little bit of context, just a smidge, so that Innes can get to bed something approximating a reasonable time. But back in the day,
Doesn't sound likely.
when Nathan and I played, there used to be a somewhat legitimate strategy of putting a whole bunch of pyrovores who were on smaller bases than the monstrous shit they're on now.
They were on 60s. It was still pretty big.
It's still pretty big. Into a tiered drop pod, and you would drop it down, and you would shoot flamers at people, and it was pretty tight when it worked well. Unfortunately,
I would have super major with it. It was pretty good.
Yeah, in the game that Nathan and I were playing, I only had literally across the whole battlefield, the only visible thing was 10 cultists. And he goes to set up this pyropod, and I'm like, Nathan, I'm playing Emperor's Children. Just don't. It's going to let me slingshot. A bunch of bad shit happens if you come down and shoot at these cultists. And he was like, it'll be fine. It'll get you to come out. And I was like, but I tried like 5 different explanations. Like, I'm coming out anyway next turn. I already passed the prayer. I'm planning to advance in charge. Look at all these things that I'm going to do. None the least of which was, you're going to kill 10 cultists and lose all of this. Yep. And his response to that was basically, fuck you, Anthony. And he did it anyway. And then when he did it, he killed 7 of the cultists, and I pulled him out of line of sight so the second unit couldn't even shoot.
It was very much the definition of me being like, fuck you, you can't tell me what to do.
Yeah. I just hit him right in the ODD, and he was like, fucking, you're not my real dad, and just fucking slammed it down. I was like, all right, fine.
But yes. All right. Next question is from Beginner Dude. Update your thing for your common use name, by the way, Beginner Dude. Do you run Eric's Invasions list for singles, say for GW terrain?
Look, bro, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that anyone understands that Eric list. I wouldn't change it. That doesn't sound good. Just play Eric's thing. If you're playing Eric's list, don't change Eric's list. You're not Eric. No one's Eric. But if you're going to play Eric's thing, just play Eric's thing, right? Like, what do we have to get? What do we have to get crazy with it?
Yeah.
And this is the answer to the next question from Ian, which is, should us orc players keep innovating or just run Brian's LGT list if we're running Warhorde?
The only thing I would have changed about Brian's list is that I have a friend playing something very similar, and it's 25 flash gets as well. Literally, most of the rest of the list is the same. Brian has some amount of trash that I'm not sure of what exactly it is, but after the 25 flash gets and like all the rest of the the knobs and the breakers and the gas and the unit and all that shit go in, I just take Snickrot instead because it's a little bit easier to use than a lot of the rest of the other trash because you can do combi lieutenant shit with him on your natural. That's nice.
The second question from Ian, I think, is important, which is, more generally speaking, how do you know when a faction or detachment is quote-unquote solved versus when there's still innovation to be had?
Ask the fucking expert. He'll tell you.
Yep. I can't think of anybody who's going to look at you and be like, nothing can ever change from this list. Very few times.
Except Anthony with World Eaters.
It
before.
depends. There's even now the current version has options. It's just not the options.
No, I'm talking about in your old version of World Eaters.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, for a minute there's been a couple of times where it's just been like optimized to death, and there's just like actually nothing to change. Like all the changes are just downgrades or whatever.
I mean, currently right now there's a schism between walking footprints people and not walking footprints people.
I don't like it. I've never had it work out. Other people have success with it. Good for them.
Fair enough. All right. Ian, a different Ian, alternative Clover Ian. Dear Innes, how would you, as a mass infantry enthusiast, approach learning a list like Coterie Emperor's Children? I am coming off the back of playing Wraith/Warrior Jail and AC/DC Jail, but I've been double dog dared into playing EC for an upcoming event. Do you have any tips for my crash course to feel pretty in pink with a wildly elite army?
First suggestion. Go and watch a couple stream games of Emperor's Children. It's genuinely an army that you learn best by just like seeing how people play it. Emperor's Children is an army that's not about trading. It's a turn, go, right? Like it's a full push, a full send army. And then you maybe scrap over the late game, but it's not and then you put your unit and I put my unit out because your units are expensive and fragile. Like you're trading with like 160 point like lead units that were in a Rhino. And your opponent, you're trading with like JPI squads. Like that's bad. Don't do that. Spend like one turn building up and then kill. So
perhaps
watching
most
people play that.
importantly-
Sorry, Anthony. Give me.
Oh yeah, finish. Sorry.
So watching people playing the game, listen to some battle reports. Boris Mishev just released his on 4K Fireside rundown of LGT. Listen to some people who are good at the army talking about it and playing it, because it is not an easy army to play in that sense, right? It's very much if you try to play it like a trading game, you try to play the back and forth. I'm gonna put a unit out and then you put a unit out and I put a yes, okay, the army, there are some games that you get to play like that, right? Some matchups where you're like, I am just better at this than you because I will continually build up towards the late game and then I will crush you with gold rebuffs. But most of the time, that's not really what you want to do. That's the thing that you get to do when it's good, because your opponent can't deal with you and you're going to win that game anyway, and you get to win it at a leisurely pace that doesn't involve this all-in that can be a little risky. The games that they're going to be the tough ones are when you have to kind of thread that needle of, how can I do just enough setup that my all-in turn works? And your job as the player learning it is to learn, how much setup do you need before that all-in turn works? Do you need 1 buff? Do you need 3 buffs? Do you need no buffs and you just need to hope for the best, right? That's very much going to be down to the game state, the opponent, your understanding of how the game's going, whether you're going first or second, how much resources your opponent has. Do they have 4 CP for the interrupt, the fight on death? Do you need to have tools in place to block the melee damage? Do you need to just shoot them for a bunch of turns with noise rings first before you crack on them? It's all about getting to that all-in, because you're trying to set up all in. You're not trying to play the Renegade Raider style, and then I did a thing, and then he did a thing, and I did a thing, and then he ran out of stuff before I did. It's not the game plan.
The only thing I would add to that is, do not get your princes killed early. They're so fucking broken if you can get them into the end game. Just hold on to them for a bit, and they're so good.
All right. Willow has the next question, which is, Sisters at almost 60%, but nothing seemed crazy. How do we feel about that? I think Sisters are fine, personally.
They're a good army. They consistently do pretty well. I don't think they need to be nerfed. They certainly shouldn't be buffed. Just leave them alone.
Yep.
Or print them a new detachment. That's just the lag detachment. I think that would also be fine.
Yep. At most, I think
that's what the White Scar should actually be. It should be White Scar's lag. Solved it.
Nailed it.
All right.
Steve,
Steve 13th Legion, thank you for the $5 super chat. It's your last day alive. What list from this? What edition is your last game?
Okay, taking this question at its merits, because if it's my last day alive, I'm not playing Warhammer. No offense.
True.
Hey, sure. Maybe just
probably. I mean, I would have to chase down another game with Reaper of Veterax, right? That would be the utter dream, right?
Yeah.
That would be it. Yeah.
I think it's a toss-up for me between 9th Emperor's Children and my end of 9th World Eater thing. Those two are, I think, the most fun armies that I've played. Or if you can very specifically take post Cherokee Anthony and make that my last day, but let him play light Harlequins into Tau and Custodies. That's probably the most joy that I could feel in a Warhammer context.
Or I want another shot at that game against Alban. Just that game again, please.
I just want to play Thick City again. That was the most fun I've had playing 40K is Thick City.
Yeah,
and
that's
some of the
up
main
there,
trading aspects of it.
That's up there too, but it's been slowly eroded as time has gone on by the chaos infection.
But honestly, I do miss the raider part at the beginning of Drukhari, where you just had raiders full of shit, and each one killed the fuck out of something repeatedly until your opponent had nothing left, and you just had a few things left. That was fun. I liked that trading aspect. I do miss Drukhari. I miss that version of Drukhari, to be more specifically. I don't think it's the same right now, and it makes me sad. All right. Floof has the next question, which is, can someone please be the devil on my shoulder and tell me it's a good idea to get 3 of that Tyranid Battle Force box? Just do it. Just get it. Get all 3.
Just get 3. Get you 3 Malesteps and 3 Exocrines. What more could you need to play Tyranid?
Get 4 of them.
Oh, I need to replace my Swarmlord. I gave him to John, and I've not replaced him yet. Sorry,
in fact, you should get 6 so you can build the variants of everything that's in that box set.
Or just, don't buy it at all.
You should buy it, Floof. Give in to the demons.
Yep. Give in to the demons and buy 3. Daniel P. has our last question for the evening, which is, how can Blood Angels deal with other melee armies?
It's rough out there, bro. You should probably be playing a Calidus Assassin right now, as much as it sucks. You're gonna wing in a prayer and hope that Dante battle shocks some shit. You should probably be running the fight first captain in an ingressing squad, or at least just in a squad. You should have the fight first enhancement, otherwise you're going to get bowled over.
You might even with it, but it helps. I personally,
yeah, it gives you outs, right? The best thing that I can say is that if sometimes that guy will scam. I was running when I was playing Blood Angels, like the Liberator build in Bloodless. I was running a Reaver squad just to have access to another way to say maybe you'll battle shock if you push too much shit at me. I honestly would maybe consider still running a Reaver squad in Blood Angels right now, just to have another source of access to that. But
I really like the fight first on a like Death Company thing in a Death Company squad, like the Jump Boys, because then they can like
yeah, they're
reroll
all
their charges
agnostic,
for
which
free,
helps.
and then they just always reroll hits. You don't need to set up Oath in advance. That shit is quite nice.
It's tough hours out there.
And that is our last question for the evening. All right.
Nathan, do you want to do your bit?
Yep, I'm going to pull up the Church of the High Five stuff real quick. It's going to take me a second because I didn't pull up the doc.
For everybody who's been with us, thank you for being with us so far. We're going to do the shout-outs now. If you want to get your name shouted out at the end of the show, it is $15 a month for our Cult of the High Five tier. You get you a bunch of special rewards at events like tokens and widgets and the ability to say, and all the saying hi and stuff like that. Mostly, it's just a shout at the end of the show. Nathan has like little tokens and stuff he can give you. I think some people have promised to give other things. We'll give you a crisp high five, and that's always a guarantee. All right, Nathan, do the plugs.
All right. Thank you to Christopher. If DG become Codex compliant, can they get +1 to wound 2? Irvine. Thank you to Willow Weeks. Thank you to Dan F. Thank you to Luke Herodens taking the subway McCarthy. Thank you to David Crute alone ... weak. Crute together ... strong Clark. Thank you to Exhausted. Thank you to James H. Thank you to Colton, Dan F. Miller. Thank you to Fungus. Thank you to John V8 Gang. Painting engines are an appropriate name for a single model with a price tag of a Marine box. Honestly, though, one of the things that I learned is you can build 2 models out of it, or even more if you are just buy some of those Rat Ogres with the Gatling guns and stuff like that, and use the bits from those Talos boxes to build more Taloses. It's fine. Thank you to Cam, Fdan, Morton, Hog Emoji. Thank you to Lady Malice's Footstool. Thank you to Josiah Gattle. Thank you to Frankie Fresh. Thank you to Isaac, born too late to copy Liam, born too early to copy Innes, born just in time to copy Lennon Tirada.
Badly, by the way. What the hell was that performance, Isaac?
Thank you to, if you paint a Talos blue, does that make it Thomas the Paint Engine? It does, but only if you put the face on that Talos. You have to put the whole Thomas the Tank Engine face. Wow, that's a great horror movie. Is that Talos poking around the corner with that music playing? There is a video game that has horror aspects to it with Talos, with Thomas the Tank Engine as like a horrifying arachnid thing. Thank you to Thomas. Would be a shame if someone back up the stat check fanfic. A for equation. Thank you to Steven. Failed 4 out of 4. 1 was a reroll. 2 ups on Scissorass. Getting poked by Biophagus Ross. Damn. Thank you to Tom Wooden Spoon Winner H. Thank you to It'd Be Cool if people could stop making jokes about trains and Tylenol. That's fair. Thank you to Why Did We Kill the Fanfic tab. Thank you to I Want to Go Play Borderlands 4, but I have stupid LVO to be sad about losing. It's okay, Floof. It's okay. Thank you to Come With Me on a Gucci Adventure. Thank you to the only reason Imperial Agents isn't a top faction is because none of you have the gumption to pilot them. Break the cycle, play agents. Thank you to Let Us Order Bulgren. And then thank you to Henry. Penguins can launch feces up to 4.5 feet away and do so every 20 minutes. The Wizard. Okay, guys. What the hell? I was reading an Excel sheet, and that is amazing. Oh my god. I can't believe that we the son of a damn. If only he could go through walls.
He can in World Eaters.
True.
There's a Japanese Japanese content creator
excited.
that makes videos every so often about their triple Lord of Skulls list, and I follow them religiously.
Who is that? You should link that in the Discord.
I'm
sounds awesome.
I'm gonna find it now because I watched it earlier. He just recently lost the 4 Great and Clean ones in Plague Legion.
Damn it! Fuck.
I know. He was playing them in Renegade. He was playing them in, I think, in Soulforge. He's now playing them in
World Eaters.
In World Eaters, yes.
Oh yeah, dude.
In the Idols one, where they give like bonuses.
No, in Berserker Warband. Even this guy is
fair. Fair. Look, I don't know, Innes. When you tell me you're taking 3 Corn Lords of Skulls,
I don't even care if Innes was joking. That's amazing if that's true. That they fuck.
damn. Oh no, I'm just gonna go back to
Is a
playing
guy
Ghost
called
of Yote
Legion
now.
W. The first video is called "I brought 3 Lords of Skulls to Japan supporting KGT," and then the most recent one is called "How 4 Great and Clean Ones Bullied Me and It Hurt."
Okay, fair enough.
And on that note, everybody have a wonderful evening and a solid
Thanks so much,
weekend.
everybody, for being with us. If you're at an event this weekend, please do have the very best of luck, unless you're playing 3 Corn Lords of Skulls, in which case I hope you suffer so that I can enjoy your next video. Have a fantastic weekend, everybody. We'll catch you next time for episode 157.
Bye-bye.